بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام على الشجرة النبوية والدوحة الهاشمية المضيئة.
18th of Ramzan, Imam Ali, peace be upon him, break his fast with some jawar chapatis and some dry dates. He was hosted by his beloved daughter Kulthum, peace be upon her. After breaking his fast, he prayed continuously whole night, and when the dawn was approaching, he began walking towards the mosque. It was the day of his martyrdom. The house has several ducks that began to obstruct his way. Alas, they knew that their master won't return alive this morning. Imam opened the door and went towards the mosque. On the morning of the 19th of Ramadan of the year 40 AH, Ali came into the great mosque of Kufa, and called adhan, the call to prayer. Later, the worshippers began to arrive. They stood behind him in serried ranks, and the prayer began. Standing in the front row, with other worshippers, were Abdur Rahman bin Muljam and his confederates. They were watching Ali's movements. In the folds of the cloaks, they were carrying swords burnished to a high sheen, and Ali touched the ground with his forehead for sajda. Abdur Rahman bin Muljam stepped out of his row, and crept into the alcove. And just when Ali lifted his head from the ground, Ibn Muljam struck the fatal blow at his forehead with such deadly force that it split open. Blood squirted from Ali's forehead in several jets, and he exclaimed, "By the Lord of the Kaaba, I am successful." Hassan and Hussein carried him to his house. A physician came, and tried to dress the ghastly wound but could not stop the bleeding. The blow of the sword was fatal anyway, but the doctor was called to his house to examine the wound. He said, "The wound is really deep and the poison has spread to whole body of Imam. There is no way now to save him, but yes, the intensity of pain can be relieved by some goat milk." He left saying this. The news that Imam is in need of milk spread like fire, and many orphan kids from Kufa came to his door with bowls of milk, hoping it will help their master. Imam was in intense pain, and he began to tell his wills of Hassan and Hussein, peace be upon him. He made Imam Hassan the next Imam and told him several things. There were wills for his daughters too that were revealed later. Only Allah knew what was going on Imam Ali's heart when he made his final talk with Zainab-e-Kubra, peace be upon her. The body was washed and coffined by Imam Hassan and Hussein, peace be upon them, and the heavenly progression left Ali's house in night. The coffin was carried by angels from the front and imams from the back. It began to move after this. It was Imam Ali's will to bury him night without informing anyone, for only the heart of Ali knew about his enemies. God knows what must have been the condition of his daughters, whose father's coffin was going from their house and they could not weep out because of the people. But this coffin was buried properly without anyone showering arrows on the coffin or stoning it, unlike the coffins of Hassan and Hussein, peace be upon them. The body of Ali must have wept beneath the coffin, imagining the bodies of his sons in future. He was buried in Najaf, few kilometers away from Kufa. The massive shrine is visited by millions today. Peace be upon you of the best of the human. Peace be upon you, the son-in-law and brother of Prophet. Peace be upon you, O the father of leaders of paradise. Peace be upon you, O the father of Zainab and Kulthum. Peace be upon him.